Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and appreciate you guys swinging by the channel today to checking the video out. And guys, got more terrible news to report from Garmin. They have just came out with this thing called the gesture remote, which is going to make you sick and disgusted, or it should if you're a real bass fisherman. I'm going to explain to you guys what this is and how it's just another nail in the coffin for the future sustainability of our sport. So we're going to dig into that in today's video here. Also guys, a couple quick things before we get started. If you want to learn how to reel bass fish and you don't want to be a computer game nerd that just stares down at the screen all the time, shoot me a private message on my Facebook page, Intuitive Angling with Brandy Blaukat. I offer instructional on the water one-on-one lessons for real bass fishing skills. So shoot me a message on that. And again guys, thank you very much, man, for all the support, everybody that's taken time to subscribe to Intuitive Angling and join up as a channel member and use all the links that I have in every video description to support the channel. Thank you very much from me and my family. We appreciate that. Okay guys, this ain't gonna never stop. It's never gonna stop because we don't have anybody that's pushing back against it in the sport, anybody that's in position of power. There's no guardrails, there's no regulations, there's nothing in the way. It's a free-for-all, the Wild West, to see which electronic company can destroy the future sustainability of our sport first. And they're working very hard to do it. Okay, if you haven't seen this, you probably heard about this latest deal that they came out with, which is the spy pole, which allows you to mount your cheater box on the boat and basically look around in any direction you want to. Well, they came out with something to accentuate that called the Garmin Gesture Remote. And what this is, you can see from the thumbnail here, it's this remote that you put on your rod, and then, sorry, the wind's blowing me around here a little bit. You put this remote on your rod, and then any direction that you point your rod, your spy pole turns in the same direction. So whatever direction that you want to look at through your cheater box, and it is a cheater box, don't make no mistake about it, you can just basically turn your rod, whichever direction you turn your rod or point your rod, the spy pole is going to point your transducer in that same direction. Now, the next thing, Garmin is going to come out with a robot that will get on your boat and actually make the cast for you, and also wipe your butt if you need to have your butt wiped. It's just like, it's never going to stop, guys. It's the most disgusting, just insane normalization of something that's really destructive to the sport that I've ever seen. It's on the same level of insanity as these companies that get away with polluting our air and water in order to make $1.5 billion profit per quarter instead of $1 billion quarter per profit. And we let them get away with poisoning our air and water, you know, just because we do. It's the same type of a thing. We have got so many people in the sport that are just completely short-sighted, don't care, greedy, money hungry. That's all they care about, is making more and more money. There's no concern about the sustainability of our sport. And this is, guys, this is only one part of it. This is never going to stop. It's like these electronic companies are going to continually feed the public these advancements, so they'll shell out more money on this crap. And it's never going to stop because we don't have anybody that has the balls or, you know, the spine or the motivation to stop it. And it's only going to stop when the public has such outrage against it that they just boycott it. That's the only thing that's going to do it. So it takes a lot of re-education. A lot of the people that have gotten sucked into using forward-facing sonar and sucked into the normalization of using forward-facing sonar, we have got to get through to those people and let them see the long-term damage that this is having to our sport. We're already seeing it in a lot of other sports. I've been watching and following a bunch of the crappie guides around the country, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the crappie populations are getting devastated by forward-facing sonar, and a lot of the states across the country are cutting the creel limits in half on these crappie because forward-facing sonar has had such a terrible effect on the populations. So instead of the game and fish and the conservation departments doing the right thing and banning this bullshit, they just, you know, say, well, you can just keep half as many fish, keep using your cheater box, but you can only keep half as many now. The level of insanity and irresponsibility of this is just off the chart. I don't understand why we have got a minority of power brokers in the sport that are setting the course of destruction for the future sustainability of the sport on all different levels. Now, you can debate how that's going to take place or when it's going to take place. Nevertheless, it's going to take place, because here's the thing. When you have electronic companies that are constantly they're constantly motivated to put out more and more advanced technologies, and then you have more and more people utilizing those technologies and getting better at those technologies, everybody is just going to get too good at catching fish. These fisheries are finite fisheries. We have this illusion that these lakes have an infinite number of bass in them, and you can't fish them out, and that you've got to harvest bass out of them. It's so freaking messed up, guys. I don't understand how we've entered the world of the surreal on this. And I'm going to keep coming to you about it. Every time I see something like this come up, one of these advancements, you're going to know about it. And guys, mark my word about it, they're working their asses off right now to put AI integration within electronic technology and fishing. And once that AI integration takes over in bass fishing, if we don't have a complete revolt and outrage amongst the bass anglers, I don't want to hear you call yourself a bass angler. If you can't get behind the whole movement to protect the sustainability of the sport, the conservation aspect of it for future generations, if you can't see what this is doing to you, you have got to have your worldview recalculated, because you're living in a fantasy world. So guys, don't accept this. Anytime that an electronic company comes out like with this gesture, hand remote, automated bullshit like this, you have got to come out against it. And I'm not just singling out Garmin here, I'm talking about every electronic company. When any electronic company comes out with these advancements in technology, use your social media, use your voice to try to bring attention to this and how it's destructive to our sport. This sport was fine, guys. There wasn't anything wrong with bass fishing. In fact, it was a hell of a lot better when we had nothing except like flashers and 2D sonar and paper maps. There hasn't been any improvement. All it has done is make it easier for people to catch fish without putting in the work, and just, making anglers lazy is what it is. We have completely taken the element of having to work and fish to find fish out of fishing, which that's what fishing is. Fishing is fishing. Fishing is fishing to find fish. Fishing isn't gluing your head to a stupid piece of electronic technology and then having a remote on your rod to tell you, that points that cheater box in the right direction and tells you exactly where to cast. I mean, if that's not an umbilical cord to success, I don't know what is. I'm just freaking disgusted by it, guys. And I'm really, there's a couple different things I'm disgusted about it. I understand the greed and money part of it, because it's just like money corrupts everything in every aspect of our society. It does, including fishing. So I understand the people in positions of power within those electronic companies that want to make more and more money for themselves, from their shareholders, and the stock prices. I get that. That's part of the reality. But what I don't get is, I don't get the people that root for the destruction of our sport, which this is. Technology doesn't have any place in fishing, guys. Technology to this level, when you talk about sports that are nature-oriented sports, like hunting, fishing, camping, hiking, that type of stuff, we are involved in those type of sports to get away from technology. We're trying to get grounded back to nature. And what's happening right now is we're getting dragged in the sport of bass fishing that we love. If you watch this channel, you probably love bass fishing. Our sport is being destroyed by this technological invasion that is being normalized by a large segment of the bass fishing population and a large segment of the bass fishing industry. It makes me sick when I see people that have platforms and companies or media outlets that basically gush over this crap and normalize it like it's just here to stay. That is the most irresponsible, disgusting display of behavior as a fisherman that anybody could ever ask for. So guys, don't be apologetic about it, man. Get loud, get proud, get on the right side of history, fight the good fight, get away from that dark side, which it is a dark side. Don't let anybody, try to tell you otherwise. And do what's right for the sport. Do what's right for the conservation of the sport, the environmental sustainability of it, the biological sustainability of it, and more important than anything else, the purity of fishing, what it is. Fishing is a healing endeavor. It's a natural connection with nature that we have to have. And the further we get removed by that, and we've already been removed a long way from it, but the further we allow these companies that are removing that mystery and the magic and the wonderment and the unknown away from fishing, the more we devaluate what fishing is. And it just never stops, guys. It never does. It's the same with like the developers and these AI data centers, guys. They're not. There is a segment of this country that is not going to be satisfied until we have cut down every tree, until we have figured out every mystery, until we have paved over every wild place, until we know where every single fish and every single lake is. They're not going to be happy until they get to that point, and then I don't even know if they're going to be happy. So I don't know, guys. Stand up and fight the good fight. That's all I got to tell you.